And how about just the natural athlete, right? I mean, watch this guy shoot a 15-footer on a basketball court. He got a full football scholarship to Louisiana State University and didn't take it because he wanted to wrestle. And as we set up at the end of the pay-per-view, Kenny, right, he lost the bronze medal match at the Olympic Games in 2004. He was unable to compete as an Olympian in 2008, despite being the captain of that team. Did realize the UFC light heavyweight championship, but as you saw Saturday night, it seemed like the fact that maybe some of the public put an asterisk on that led to him putting one on it as well. So for him to break through at 39 years old and become the UFC heavyweight champion and to do it this way, it's one of the singular biggest wins in UFC history. I would probably argue it's the biggest. I think you can argue Conor McGregor against Eddie Alvarez when he became a two-division champion is in that conversation. Conor was favored that night. I mean, you had to look far and wide to find anybody that was picking Eddie Alvarez stylistically in that matchup to beat Conor McGregor, with all due respect. DC just returned from a 5-year hiatus at heavyweight and knocked out Stipe, who at least on paper was the most accomplished UFC heavyweight champion of all time. So I don't know that there's any overstating how big this win is for DC. We talk about these performances, Kenny, by underdogs in a championship situation. I know DC had a belt here, but Rafael dos Anjos against Anthony Pettis, and more recently, I guess, Rose Namajunas against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. But for me, and sorry for trying to contextualize it, I guess, but this is as big as it gets for Daniel Cormier. Obviously, it couldn't happen to a better guy. And I haven't really thought about much else, honestly, as we sit here almost 48 hours removed, just because I'm so obsessed with the nature of what he was able to accomplish Saturday night.
It really is remarkable what he was able to do, and the fact that he did this against Stipe Miocic, who had established himself really as the greatest heavyweight of all time. So look at what DC has done. I mean, he just beat Stipe Miocic, and he did it by knockout in the very first round. Don't be deceived by how a fighter looks. You got to look at how he moves. I think that's the most important thing, is how he is able to manage his movement, what he's capable of doing with his body, not whether the guy has a six-pack or not. And I think DC is that guy who really is a tremendous athlete, and people sleep on him all the time. They don't realize how great this guy is. And after this performance against Stipe, I mean, he has established himself as one of, if not the best competitor in UFC history. To win 2 belts and to do it in this fashion, and to do it at 39 years old,
crazy.
It's amazing.